Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Okay, so it's not that feckin' bad, right? Or maybe it is. Maybe we need to bury Ember out back with Bambi's mom and Old Yellow at the same time. Hey, what's up everyone? How you all doing? Now, Ember took a hit. A change in how she walks, or more precisely, a nerf. I mean, call it what it is, right? Ember was changed to help combat how effective she was at clearing low level missions, and the fact that World on Fire would kill everything before new players could even engage in combat. Simply by bullet jumping your way through missions, Ember would wipe out everyone and everything in her path, which I'll be honest here, and I think a lot of us have to be. If you were a new player again jumping into Warframe, how quickly would you put the game down or uninstall it if all you met was Embers in public matches just nuking everything in their path, leaving you just standing there twiddling your thumbs with nothing to do? There would be no enjoyment, so why would you actually play the game? So that small aspect of why she was changed, I fully understand. However, I can't help but feel like these changes haven't actually addressed what they were supposed to do in terms of Ember's ability to nuke low level missions. She can still do that really easily because she won't be taking much damage from low level enemies or star chart enemies, and simply by adding a bit more range to your already World on Fire builds or tweak your build a little bit and she is still good to go. Ember's survivability in higher level missions however has definitely been affected, especially for those of you who really like to run with her Firequake augment for crowd control, because it kind of relied on having a lot of range in order to crowd control as many enemies as possible. The new changes to her World on Fire range means that enemies can now get a lot closer to your Ember, and the fact that she's already a really weak Warframe, it means they have more chances to put a few bullets in her and actually put her down, which is the one change to her abilities that I'm feeling more than any other, is that range. Now, what were Ember's actual changes? Ember's Fireball can now be charged up for more damage and will leave a napalm effect on the point of impact, so on the ground or wherever else it hits. Ember's Fire Blast now works very similar to Volt's shield and you can shoot through it for added fire damage, but her biggest change is of course that World on Fire tweak. It will now have a percentage amount on the ability icon that will scale up to 100%. When it gets to 100%, the damage of your World on Fire will be doubled, its energy drain will also be doubled, and your World on Fire's range will be halved. So like I said, it's this range nerf that players are feeling more than anything, especially if you run maybe a negative strength max range Firequake build. So as an example, if your World on Fire has 250% range, this means you have about 37 meters on your World on Fire, which once it scales up to 100% halves that 37 down to a little over 18 meters, which at times will force your Ember to hallway camp in order to stay alive, which isn't really a strategy or a tactic that I've ever enjoyed doing, but if you have to do it to stay alive, then you have to do it. Of course, Ember also has Accelerant, which can be used for added crowd control, but if you're already draining energy from World on Fire, then you're going to need to be careful so as you don't run out of energy. And I know that this range nerf may not seem like much when you're running through Corpus tile sets or Grenier tile sets and those narrow hallways and corridors. However, once you jump out onto the plains, if all you have is 18 meters on that crowd control, then chances are you're going to take a lot of shots, especially considering some of the auto aim that those Grenier snipers have as well. And considering that Venus is the next open world, they're going to be pushing a lot more open world missions, so Ember isn't going to be as effective as other Warframes would be at crowd control or even in damaging when it comes to these open world areas. So these are my current Ember builds. I have a max range World on Fire build, which is running a nice balance of duration, efficiency and of course strength. I have a Flash Accelerant build that focuses on range and of course strength as well, but even though I have a little bit under the 100% duration, I still have nearly 30 seconds on that buff. I also have a negative power strength, max range and of course efficiency Firequake build, which I use strictly for crowd control and not really damaging. Of course I let my weapons do that for me. So I've held off on making this Ember video for about a week now because I wanted to jump in, I wanted to try her out and see just how good or how bad all of these changes made her. And I'll be honest, the fact that her World on Fire now scales up in damage, it means that even running with a Firequake build now, even though it's a negative power strength one, it still deals a lot of damage. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about Ember right now. I still wish she had a little bit more range on that World on Fire for crowd control, because all I ever really ran my Ember for was Firequake. I didn't run a high power strength maximum range in order to wipe out low level missions. It just wasn't how I enjoyed running my Ember. I prefer weapons more than anything else. So she's still more than capable of doing everything that she could before these changes. The only place that you're going to notice her more than anything is on those high level missions where you want to run maybe crowd control, and you're going to need a squad to help pick your ass up off the ground. So again, she was reworked or nerfed in order to address a certain issue. Similar to Chroma, Chroma was changed because they didn't like the way that he interacted with Eidolons and how he could one-shot Eidolons. And then you fast forward a week and you've got squads of players out on the plains of Eidolon wiping out 12 Eidolons in one night without the use of Chroma. And in a similar fashion, Ember's changes didn't really address the issue that they said she was changed for. She was changed because she could nuke low level missions, and she can still pretty much nuke low level missions. So I don't really know why these frames were changed the way they were, especially considering they've mentioned that Chrome is going to get another change down the road. So I don't know, is it to try and refresh things up and make players actually play these Warframes again? I'm baffled by it, being honest with you. Maybe you guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do me a huge favour, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.